Chancellor Maloney. It is my honor to welcome Sian Proctor to receive a Doctor of Humane Letters degree.
Sian Proctor, for your significant and ongoing contributions, the University of Massachusetts Lowell is proud to confer upon you its highest honor, Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Massachusetts, I hereby confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all the rights and privileges thereunto pertain. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me now in welcoming our afternoon commencement speaker, Dr. Sian Proctor. Sian Proctor is a geoscientist, explorer, space artist, and astronaut. She was the pilot for the SpaceX Inspiration for All civilian orbital mission. She is the first Black female to pilot a spacecraft. And she is the first Black commercial astronaut. With a motto that she calls Space to Inspire, Dr. Proctor focuses on encouraging people to use their unique strengths. She advocates for justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion in space. Dr. Proctor uses Afrofuturistic art to encourage conversations about women of color in the space industry. She also promotes the use of space technology to address issues on Earth, such as food waste and climate change. Proctor has taught geology, sustainability, and planetary science at South Mountain Community College in Phoenix, Arizona. She is currently director of the Global Futures Institute for the Maricopa Community College District. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Sian Proctor. And now, Dr. Proctor, if you could take the podium.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to share my Space to Inspire story with you and to celebrate all the new opportunities you've now created for yourself because of your love of learning. To be honest, when they asked me to put together a commencement speech, I didn't know where to begin or what to say. This is a first for me. I've attended many graduations over my 20 years as a geoscience professor at South Mountain Community College in Phoenix, Arizona. And year after year, I've listened to amazing people inspire both me and the graduating students, along with their family and friends in the audience. I often thought about, what would I have to do to be invited to the podium? What great accomplishments would I need to achieve in order to be given the honor to inspire so many on such an amazing day of accomplishments? The human endeavor is filled with a desire to be noticed, to stand out, to make a difference. I call it affirmation of existence. But the human endeavor isn't easy because you have no control over where, when, or to whom you are born. Your gender, the color of your skin, or your social economic start in life are things you don't get to control when your life begins. But as you grow and develop from cradle to grave, what you can control is your unique, one-of-a-kind, amazing space. The space you inhabit. The space that makes you who you are. It's a magical, transformative space. There will only ever be one of you, and how you use your space matters. The things you do, the things you say, and the connections you make each and every day, they matter. I come before you at this moment to say to each and every one of you that you are seen, you do stand out, and you are making a difference. My dad would say to me that we stand upon the shoulders of those who came before us. We all have a legacy, a family tree that isn't based on family, but instead it is forged from imagination, opportunity, hard work, perseverance, and hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. On June 15th, 1921, Bessie Coleman became the first Black woman and Indigenous woman to earn an aviation pilot's license. She did this through pure grit and determination. Bessie was born during a time of segregation in the United States. It was a time of limited opportunities and immense challenges for both women and particularly for people of color. And here was Bessie Coleman, a Black woman with an incredible dream of wanting to learn how to fly. The thing about Queen Bess is that she too embraced the power of learning, just like you. She used her unique space to dream the impossible. She used her unique space to challenge the system. She used her unique space to find a way around all those societal barriers. She realized that in order to fulfill her dream, she needed to work multiple jobs. She needed to find allies and sponsors who understood her vision. She needed to learn another language. She needed to leave the United States and go to France. She needed to be brave and determined. Just like Bessie, you too had to be brave and determined to go to school and persevere during a global pandemic. So off to France she went, and in the process, she became a first, a trailblazer, a role model. But she didn't do all of this for the titles. She took on this incredibly hard, challenging life endeavor because she was in search of her true self, that authenticity that comes from knowing you found your calling in life. She achieved that dream of becoming a pilot on June 15th, 1921. And in September of that same year, she went back to the United States, a living legend, only to learn that she was still unable to support herself as an aviator. Instead of giving up, like most of us would, she returned to Europe for more training. And 1 year later, in September of 1922, she performed in her first air show in the United States. The skies now belong to her. She found her way, just like you found yours. Queen Bessie's light shined bright until 1926 when she tragically passed away in a plane accident. But in those 34 years of life, She used her unique, beautiful, one-of-a-kind space to inspire those within her reach and beyond. She never got to accomplish her initial dream of opening up a school for Black people to learn how to fly, but it wasn't soon after her death that the Bessie Coleman Aero Club was created to promote aviation awareness in the Black community. Her history, along with the legacies of all those who struggled before me, has enabled me to find my own space to inspire. My Space to Inspire story began on the island of Guam because my father was working at the NASA tracking station during the Apollo missions. My dad was part of the history of helping the first human, Neil Armstrong, step foot on the moon. He contributed his skills to the advancement of human spaceflight, and as a result, was recognized by Neil Armstrong for his accomplishments. So even though my family left Guam and NASA soon after I was born, I grew up with my family's space legacy. And that helped fuel my dream of wanting to become a pilot and an astronaut. As a child, I fantasized about being a great explorer, going out into the world and discovering new things for humanity, boldly going where no one had gone before. But I quickly got discouraged. The imposter syndrome voice inside my head told me again and again that there was no way I would ever be smart enough or talented enough to discover anything new for humanity. But luckily for me, I had won the birth lottery with two amazing parents. My father would tell me again and again that I could do anything, and that the key to opportunity was through education. Neither of my parents had college degrees, but from an early age, they inspired me and my siblings to become as educated as possible, and that's why I became Dr. Proctor. And as I got older, I realized to be a great explorer didn't mean discovering something new for humanity. It meant discovering something new for myself. Once I embraced my own love of discovery, a new world opened up for me. I was committed to lifelong learning and exploration. I was committed to becoming a seeker of knowledge and devoted to understanding the world around me and my space within it. But I was equally committed to sharing my love of learning as a teacher and science communicator. My entire life, I felt like Bessie Coleman, chasing something impossible, a love of aviation, space, and human exploration. I didn't know if I would ever achieve my dream of reaching space, but I never gave up hope. When Inspiration 4 came along and I could win my ticket to space by showing my entrepreneurial spirit and creating a 2-minute Twitter video, I decided I would be non-conventional, just like Bessie. Even though I had only recently become an artist and a poet, I decided I would create an original poem expressing why they should choose me. At 50 years old, I found my authentic voice as an artist and a poet. Exploring myself through art enabled me to express things in ways I never knew possible. It opened up new opportunities and new ways of sharing my space to inspire. And it changed my life by giving me the opportunity to realize my childhood dream of wanting to be a pilot, an astronaut, and just like Bessie Coleman, a part of history. I trained for 6 months to become the Inspiration 4 mission pilot. It was a wonderful, yet extremely intense 6 months of my life. I can only imagine what Bessie felt like alone in France, pursuing her dream, knowing that she was hopefully creating a foundation for those to follow. In 1921, Bessie Coleman got her pilot license. And in 2021, exactly 100 years later, I found myself among the stars as the first Black female pilot of a spacecraft. What would Queen Bess say if she knew her Space to Inspire legacy still shines bright with amazing Black women who have followed her path to explore the sky above and even beyond? I found my authentic self in my art and poetry. I found my space to inspire. Now it is time for you to find yours, and you've already taken that first step. Congratulations on achieving that first of many dreams. As you go out into the next phase of your life, I challenge you to use your space to inspire and to make that space just, equitable, diverse, and inclusive for not only yourself, but for those within your reach and beyond. Because you never know, it might just take you to a whole new orbit. Congratulations, class of 2022. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Proctor.